Thank you. As the names were read, there were tears on the faces of many of those present. For this is not a happy event. This is not an uplifting event. This is not a bright moment that sparks hope and lights the way, no matter how many candles are lit. We know that these are only a few of the names, only some of the people, and that each year we come across new ones that were missed, often because we too are seen as disposable. People like Sequoia, who died in San Francisco in 2008, uncounted, unseen. This is a remembrance, a memorial surrounded by them. A time for digging into ourselves and letting loose the loss, the grief, the sadness, the despair. This is a night where we remember those who were murdered, but make no mistake, for most of us, this is a night when we will remember more than those merely murdered. This is a night when we will also remember those lost to suicide, when we will remember those lost to HIV, when we remember those who are beaten but no longer able to attend such events, those who are still too young, and those who have become too frail and infirm, as eventually most of us will. It is human nature to come to the aid of those who are hurting. We also want you to know that this is not the only thing this community does. This is not the only time your presence is asked for. Your help is needed. In March, there will be a great many events that will lead up to the Transgender Day of Visibility. That is a day when we will be seen, and we will be heard, and we will be known. And there are many, many people here for whom that day is just as important as this one. And those events are just as critical as this one. That will not be a time for grief, or loss, or sadness. That will be a time for hope, for determination, for looking how we can stop this list from continuing to grow ever larger, and then doing those things we see when we look forward. I can go with that. Y'all just gonna have to suffer with my deeper voice. That will be a time when we will want to see you again with us, again beside us, again showing us that you care, that you are there, that you want to see this event come to a close, that you want to see smiles instead of tears and hope instead of despair. We deeply, intensely, passionately would like for you to stand with us then as well as you are standing with us here now. Please support your trans community. It is yours. It belongs to all of you. Right now, right here, every last one of you is a member of it, no matter if you are trans or cis, straight, or gay, I'm going to make him work real hard now. Red or blue, pale or shaded deeply, stealth or open. It gets better, but not on its own. It takes people to make things better, to make life better. People working together, people helping together, people loving together. It takes different people coming from different places and believing in different things. It takes hard work and it takes sacrifice. But in the end, when those things happen, no matter how hard it seems at the time, no matter how vast the gulf appears, when we do work together, we accomplish what people have done for thousands of years. We make a difference. We make a change. The least of us is where we must start, where we must look, and where the effort towards lasting and grand change starts. These are not the words of theory. These are not the words of politics. These are the words of history, of science, and ultimately the words of our future. To end these deaths, to finish this, to make this list smaller each year, that is what we must do. Trans people are gay and straight, bisexual and asexual, tall and short, men and women, boys and girls, black and white and native, Hispanic and Latin, Asian and Pacific Islander. We are very occasionally rich, and we are all too often poor. We go to the grocery store, we buy gas, we buy presents during the holidays for our wives and husbands, children and grandchildren, friends and neighbors. We are Democrats and Republicans, Greens and Independents, Libertarians and Socialists. There is no area, no issue, no group, no way of dividing people that doesn't include us, except the one that marks us apart as trans people. We are not counted, except when we die horribly and our names come onto a list. We are few. Oh, so few. For that reason, each of these names hits us harder and more brutally than those outside our community may realize. Help them to realize it. Help us to tell them. Help us to make this stop. Since January of 2008, just under 5 years now, there have been 1,083 murders that we can find documentation for. We have the ability to make a significant impact on that number in the next 5 years. And it can start right here, right now, with you. Support us. And in doing so, you will support every cause you care about. It's cold, and many of us have sore feet. It will keep you only a moment longer. We thank those who have helped us to make this night possible. Daria, Margot, Becky, Maria, Kathy, Angie, Diana, Anita, Katie, all three Seans, Ryan, HRC Phoenix, who They provided this, but the power was our fault. The office of State Senator Lujan, Mary Peralta, Councilman Tom Simplot and his staff. Sometimes even knowing you can rely on people counts just as much. So we thank 1 in 10 Phoenix and PFLAG Phoenix as well. For an event we only had 6 weeks to plan and pull off, we hope you found it worthwhile. Once more, and finally, thank you all, each of you, for coming. And we wish you and yours many blessings and much peace. Good night.